You are watching me, Mick, here on my YouTube channel, Movies TV Mad. You can watch me also on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Or you can follow me over there at Movies TV Mad. Or call it X, call it whatever you want. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Movies TV Mad X. It's another huge year to be a DC fan. Last year we had 4 movies. Okay, they weren't great movies and they all flopped. It looks like that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom could be the most successful DC movie out in a while. Globally, it's doing quite well, especially China. But we'll get to that non-spoiler review of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom because I don't think that's the most vital thing to talk about. Because as I've just said, I believe that this year is a huge year for DC and to be a DC fan. But Mick, we've only got one film out and there's no DC universe. There's no... Shut up. Shut up and shut up. It's a big year to be a DC fan. Let me explain to you why. Right, we have Creature Commandos. We have Penguin, a huge streaming series on Max. And we have Joker, the sequel to the most successful, profitable DC movie in years and years and years. But not only that, in March, Superman Legacy starts filming. It goes into proper production. This is the year we're going to see a brand new Superman costume. We're going to find out who's doing the score for Superman Legacy. And my ongoing theory is looking like it's looking more realistic every single day. We're going to talk about that. Yes, because John Williams has reversed his decision to retire. He's come out of retirement. Don't you find that interesting? We're going to get into that as well. So you've got all the stuff you're going to hear from Superman Legacy. You've got Creature Commandos. You've got Penguin. And you've got Joker. It's an exciting year for me. For me, as a DC fan, I find this year more exciting than last year. Last year was very sad, but it was always going to end that way. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was always going to be a mid movie that flopped. The Flash movie was always going to be a mid movie that flopped, with starring an actor that had been very naughty in reality. And the truth is, most of the public simply didn't want to watch a movie with that person in it. It's as simple as that. Then we came to Blue Beetle. You know, Xolo is the very opposite of Ezra. Xolo is a very, comes from a great family, great work ethic. Cobra Kai's been great for him. And him personally, it's great because he's going to be Blue Beetle going on in the DC universe with James Gunn, which is brilliant and exciting. And I agree with that decision because really Blue Beetle is kind of separate from the rest of the DCEU, if you like. But that movie was problematic as well. It was a mid movie that also flopped. People didn't seem interested in that movie either, which is a shame. And you have to ask the question, by the way, because this is an interesting one. We'll get positive with this year in DC in a moment, but this is an interesting one if you ask me. Blue Beetle, we were told Blue Beetle, although part of the DCEU, that all the cast, including Xolo as Blue Beetle, right, is going to be part of the new universe that James Gunn is developing right now, because the excuse has been, oh, no one's interested in these DCEU movies because they're not part of the future. Well, Blue Beetle is part of the future, but that film isn't really, is it? But the characters, or at least Xolo as Blue Beetle, will be, which is very, very exciting for the actor, and I think he's going to be great going forward, and hopefully James Gunn does better things with him that were done in that movie. That movie was mid and problematic and stereotypically terrible for, for that culture. I think that when you think of the Latin community, the Latinx community, Latinos, however you want to phrase that community, if I was them, I wouldn't be happy because it was bad. It was a bad stereotype. You can't have a community, you know, being stereotyped so badly. So it's interesting. Why did that movie flop, considering the actor's still going to be used in the new universe? That's an interesting question as well. So I just wanted to burst the popular myth with this video and say, yes, there's only one full DC movie out this year. And as James Gunn said, that's a good thing for the new universe, because you don't just leap in a year later. You give it a whole year's break, and then you get Superman Legacy in 2025. So I think that's good. It gives a good break. You can have a deep breath after those four at least mid, maybe not awful, but mid DCEU movies. So the DCEU is now over. Well, isn't DC Universe really still DCEU, but a refurbished one? Yes, of course it is. But for argument's sake, let's call it DC Universe, brand new start, a reboot, right? It's somewhat starting again. They have a chance to do something new. But for DCEU movies flopping doesn't bode well for the future. We must say that because even James Gunn was hyping all four movies up. Not four, he didn't say anything about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which I still find rather suspicious and a red flag, if you ask me. And he hasn't said one thing about Joker Folie à Deux either. Why is that? Probably because Todd Phillips has been slapping away his notes. You ain't giving Todd Phillips notes on this movie. You ain't ruining this movie as well. Anyway, we'll see what James Gunn does with Superman Legacy. But at this moment in time, people don't seem that interested in kind of bottled and kind of plastic CBMs. They're more interested in films like Joker Folie à Deux and the Batman 2 and the Penguin. So it's going to be interesting what Superman Legacy does in terms of the box office opposed to Joker Folie à Deux. Because once Todd Phillips comes out and starts talking about that, it's going to get very, very exciting. And for now, my focus is on Joker 2. That's the film I'm really hyped for. I loved the first movie, and I think the second movie is going to be amazing. And I think it's more than just a musical. I don't think this film's going to be scattered with songs all over the place. I think there'll be one or two songs at most. I don't believe Joker Folie à Deux is actually a musical, a proper musical. But there will be some songs, definitely. Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga. If you've got Lady Gaga in a film, why not have her singing a few tunes and a few notes, right? It will be a waste to have her and not to do that. But I'm very, very excited about that film because it's co-written and directed by an auteur with a vision, with a plan to create this Black Label live-action universe. And at the end of the day, if this film makes anywhere near $1 billion again, and I mean, obviously the controversy helped Joker to reach that because, you know, LA critics got very butthurt by it. We're excusing a man for doing bad things, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. But as usual, you know, progressives helped this movie when they didn't want to help it. Or maybe that was part of the plan. Maybe that was a tactic. We will never know. But it was successful, and this film should do quite well as well. Obviously, look, the Joker and Harley are very popular characters. I believe that's the reason the first Suicide Squad film did so well, because Joker and Harley were in that film on screen together. People love Joker and Harley, right? It'll be interesting if they did a Poison Ivy Harley movie, and then they did a Joker and a Harley movie. Which one would make more money? And I think we'd know which one that would be. So very excited for Joker, Penguin, and even for Creature Commandos. And we've got Superman and Lois coming up sometime this year, the final season. Very sad, but also very exciting at the same time. So let's talk about who could score Superman Legacy. I am convinced that it's going to be John Williams. which a lot of people won't believe. They'll think it's look, in life, when you're on social media, when you're a content creator, as I am, not a popular one, or a successful one, but I am a content creator, you go with gut feelings. You take a punt. And my punt has always been, I've always had a gut feeling that at least partially John Williams will score this film. Maybe he'll even give a brand new theme for Superman and not use his original 1978 Superman theme, because there's been a big debate with all of that. You know, a lot of people believe that each Superman should have their own theme. We will see what happens. But yeah, it is my belief, especially now with John Williams, you know, conveniently coming out of retirement and saying, if there's a good offer and, you know, the schedule is fair on him, because he is in, what, 90, 91, whatever he is now. It's insane, right, that a guy his age is still working. But he's healthy, he's happy, and if he wants to work, he should be able to work. And I celebrate this decision. And nothing would make me more happier than John Williams scoring Superman Legacy.